what's up and welcome back to this channel. So I'm here with my bana.
Today.
So today we will be picking up my own car. So we are so excited. So let's go. Is it nice? It's nice. It is. So I'm gonna be sharing some information about my car that we just bought. I think we bought it like a month ago.
About a month ago.
A month ago, and we picked it up yesterday. So I'll be sharing some information about that car. And with me is my Banabels, my husband, because he will be also sharing some information about it, the stuff that I didn't know or I don't know about purchasing and getting a car here in Australia. So we are now in the car. So this is our newly bought car, a new member of the family. So we are now, we will be sharing to you information on how we bought the car, like the process and how we ended up buying this specific car. So let's start with what are the cars that we were looking at before we bought this car.
So some of the cars we looked at was the Kia Picanto, the Kia Rio. We also had a look at some Suzuki Swifts,
which is really beautiful.
The Kia Stonic.
So it's like Stonic is like
SUV type car. We briefly looked at Hondas. That's probably the main ones that we sort of had a look at.
So actually the first, how can I say, the car that I really like or I was eyeing for is the Honda Civic. Is it Honda Civic?
Honda Civic, yeah.
Yeah, which is super duper expensive. But she was so pretty and it's out of our range. And then actually before we, because I've shared already to you that we already like bought the house, before we bought the house we actually looked at getting my own car through loan, which wasn't approved.
Unfortunately wasn't approved. There's very few lenders that will lend to someone on a bridging visa, so unfortunately it didn't work out. Yeah,
so here in Australia they are very, how can I say, very strict when it comes to like lending people money, most especially if you're not a resident or a citizen, or because at that time I was on my bridging visa. I'm still waiting for the result and I was new to my work, which is also a factor when you want to get a car or something in here like a loan at the bank. They will look at on your capacity of like paying it back. So it was early March last year when we plan of buying a car. So that's like a year. Yes, it was a year. Exactly like a year, like same month. It was like March. And then so we were like looking at a lot of different style and brand of cars. Then test drive this car and another one from Barrick.
The Kia Picanto.
Kia Picanto, which is actually I learned driving with my husband's car, which is a huge car. It is
a Honda CR-V.
Honda CR-V. It's a huge car. So everyone says like, oh, that's a huge car. You're driving with your like with your L or P, because I'm happily in my P's now. So I'm now able to drive by myself. We did a lot of things and ended up buying this car, which we will not mention yet what is the brand or like type of car. We will be doing like a separate video of like a whole tour of this car. We might be like showing like a part of this car in this video, but might. So we will just be like giving you some information on how we end up buying this one. This car's original price is like on the market. It's around how many $1,000?
I think it was over 30,000.
So it's like over 30,000. And the good thing here in Australia is that you can, what's the term, like haggle?
Haggle, yeah.
You can haggle, like you can, like in Philippine term is like, in my own like Visayan word is like hangyo. So you can ask what is like the lowest price they can give you, which we got this car in the lowest price possible, which is very good. Which is how much?
$29,500.
So the big factor that made me choose this one is my husband's idea, because he knows more about cars and like, you know, the specs of the car. Because like for me, just like a TV, it's like if it works then it's good. Like That's the only thing I know about like stuff like cars or like TV, but he knows a lot better than me. So what made us, or what made you like buy this specific car? Let's just
so
give
we
them
had-
like a rough idea.
We had a few different models lined up, and we looked at the prices of each different model, and then I went through and highlighted the variances between each model, so trying to work out what we were paying extra for. And the original price of this car, actually we didn't even want to sort of entertain the idea of getting it. It wasn't until the brand that we bought was starting to do a sale, and I started seeing the advertisements come online, and I found a second-hand version of this car. When we went to the dealership, told a bit of a lie and said I could get the second-hand car for even cheaper than what it was listed at, and then that brought this price down as well. So yeah, I guess the main thing that brought us to this car was the fact that it wasn't originally in our budget. It still wasn't quite, but the
It's like we wiggled it in the slip.
yeah.
We want this.
Well, we made compromises on other things for the house instead to pay
Yeah.
for it, because it was a little bit above our budget, but we
Way above the budget.
put it in because the value of this car compared to the other ones that we were looking at was much better.
We bought this car, but it's like way beyond the budget that we were planning of like spending for my car or our new car. But then we thought about it, and we actually like thought a lot of times. It's buying this car is not like one time, how can I say,
A one-off purchase.
one-off
I think.
purchase, like, oh, I like this car, I buy this car. But we had a look at like different types of cars, different brands, test drive a few, and had the brochures like side by side to see what are we getting or what extra are we getting with this car and compared to other cars. We got this car because of the stuff that is in here that we really love, and we've already test drive this car and I like it, though it's like a bit funny at first because I was so nervous driving this new car. I drove this car from the dealership at Frankston to our home in Cranbourne, and then after that my husband drove the car from our home in Cranbourne to the shopping center, which is, he already test drive it. And what can you say about the car?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I guess this might give it away for some people, but anyone who knows me knows I've had this brand of car before, so I'm very used to driving it. Yeah, very
Lucky.
nice. Beautiful drive. Yeah, very nice.
So for me, like, his opinion is really a big factor of like my decisions in life too. Is like, if he says it's nice, it's good, then I go for it because he knows better than me. So yep, so we already test drive it. It felt so nice, it's very good, and I couldn't say more about this in this video, but we will tell you more about this in the second video, which is sort of like whole tour of this specific car. So when we actually went to that dealership in Frankston, we were given, how can I say, like options of cars.
Yes, yeah.
Of cars with the same brand, the same style, but different color, and cars like arrives at different times, or they're available like in few weeks and few months. But in this specific car, I really chose this one because I love this like specific color. I think you've like seen a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and if you've seen this, if you've been like following this channel, you know my favorite color, so that's a hint. Other dealership, they offer, or they had cars
In red
in red
and white.
and white, and they were like available like right that day or like a week after, but I chose to wait for this one. We chose to wait for this one. Is it we chose or
No, you chose.
I chose?
You chose. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was
so,
your decision.
so I chose to wait for this one because I think that time my husband really was like, we should get the ones that we can use ASAP. I'm not sure if you know or if I've mentioned, I've been using my husband's car since I got my P. So he was like asking for a lift from his dad, my in-law, like every day, and I pick him up. So he is also very excited to get this car because he will be getting his car back. And another thing that we'll be sharing to you is what are the stuff that you need to prepare or do or process with getting a car here in Australia. My husband will tell you about that one because I've got no idea. I've got only like few maybe idea about it, but he will tell you more about it.
So I guess guys, the most important thing to do, whether you're buying a car on a finance, which is under a loan, or buying it outright, is to make sure that you get your insurance covered before you pick up your car. Number one thing that you must do, if you drive out of the dealership and you don't have insurance and happen to get hit, it's going to be a bad time.
So I think that is the very most important thing. Like, make sure you get yourself insured and your car insured before you pick it up, because as far as we know, you are not allowed to like drive the car or pick up the car from the dealership if you don't have the insurance yet.
That's if you're buying the car under finance. But if you're buying the car outright, like we did, you can drive it without insurance, but that's your own decision. It would definitely be heartbreaking if you had a car accident.
So better make sure to get insurance before you drive any car, even if it's like new or second-hand. Make sure to have insurance. In that way, you and your car will be covered if something bad happens. So that's the most important thing, insurance. So I guess that's everything that we can share about how we ended up buying this car and the process and when we bought it, when we pick it up. So that's it for this video, and better make sure to check out the next one, which we will show you the whole car in and out. So thank you so much for watching this one, and
we'll see you in the next one.
bye.
Bye.